Hello viewers, today we're going to be servicing and repairing a VN. I believe it would have originally been branded SMC or Hampton Bay or Powon Zis or something like that. It's a Medea product. The model number is unknown. The tag was painted over, so the brand is unable to be determined at this time. Anyways, I like this fan a lot. I have particular liking for the SMC Medea fans from the era, and this was a trash find. I picked this up off the curb maybe 2 years ago now. I really like when I get something out of the trash and it ends up being something I really like and I can fix it and get a lot of use of enjoyment out of it. I just think that's great. I've used this in the bedroom for a long time, and then the bearings started to lock up again, and it's kind of weird because like it freezes, and then as soon as you hit it, it starts to free up again. You know, if even just giving it a couple of turns like that will get it going, but sometimes it wouldn't start correctly. So we're gonna re-lubricate the bearings. This is one of the downfalls of the, actually I'm going to leave this on for a second. This is one of the downfalls of the steel bearings that these things used. They're fantastic until they dry out, and then they become problematic. This also has a little bit of a sound to it, like a rattling noise on low, which it probably won't do now because we have the camera on. Yeah, it's doing it. And that, I believe, is that against the front or the rear bearing? That's actually against the rear bearing, I think. So we may just have to replace that thrust washer, and that may solve that noise. It's not loud enough that it's really an issue, but if I can fix it, might as well. See, the spin down time was kind of short. So let's get in here and take a look at what we got. One of the many things I like about these fans is that they're usually pretty easy to get into. This one is no exception. Screws being kind of pesky and not wanting to come off. Did I not undo it all? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So, we need to tap out that blade alignment thing so that we can open the motor up. Okay, so now we can open the motor up, and the front shell is stuck to the stand, so we're going to leave the windings associated with the rear shell. And we'll just slip that through like that. This is looking kind of crusty, but that's pretty typical for these SMC fans. They run a bit on the warm side. So we have, it looks like a fairly dried out bearing, which is kind of odd because I did fill it up when I serviced this last, but you know, sometimes when it dries out thoroughly it takes a couple fillings to get it to hold, so we'll just have to redo it. Now these washers here, what I was talking about is this little thing here. Sometimes these wear down. I don't know if we can really see the wear marks on this one. Maybe a little bit. If we replace that with a new one that's a little bit thicker, that may solve the problem. I'm not certain, but it's usually the cause of that rattling sound. And we need to get one there that has the same inner diameter. And we don't have a great option here because this is what I would want. Oh, actually that may be the right size. Let's see. Oh, perfect. That's the right size. So what we'll do is on the back, just stick that on there. And I think that will quiet it down. I don't know if we're going to have enough space to put one on the front, but to me it sounded like the noise was coming out of the rear bearing. So that's the one that's going to be, we're going to want to replace. Okay. So I'll hold on to this one. In fact, it's so worn down, what I could do, just for the sake of not losing it in case I need to go back to the original configuration, could just slip it on here. It's so thin it's hardly going to make any difference to anything. Just do that. Okay. So now let's put some more oil in here. Oil for fans, blah blah blah. I'll do that 100 times. If you haven't got it by now, then you're not paying attention. We're going to fill up the wicking material. I'll zoom this thing in so that you can peep it. I'm going to put a couple drops of oil on that sponge-like material in there. Let that seep in. Do the same thing over here. Yeah, it was definitely dried out. I find that odd. I really do find that a little bit odd. Okay, well, that's filled up with oil now. So let's put it back together. That's really all that there is to do here. If it don't solve it, then we're just going to have to live with it. I'm going to put a little bit of oil, not a lot, just a fraction of a drop onto the shaft itself. I'm going to slip this in the back. Slip this through the front. Now, we still have a little bit of play here front and back. Enough that I could probably put a new washer in the front or a second washer in the back if need be. You need a little bit of play, but just a hair. This is a good, probably 1/8 of an inch still. And that's a bit more than is necessary. We could probably have this and it would still be okay. But I'm not going to mess with it more than I have to, so let's put it back together and see what it sounds like. If it's not quieter, I'll add a second one, but that may have done it. I charged up the screwdriver last night. Sure is nice to work with it fully charged. These screws don't go very tight, they just go snug. And they gotta be as symmetrically tight as possible. Because this is a low power screwdriver, I usually just go to the tightness of the driver, and that's adequate. Okay. Swing the oscillations back around. I'm going to throw a drop of oil in there, just for good measure, before we put it back on. Or just get oil all over the place. And I'll put a drop in the front too. Just on it for a quick second here, let that oil work its way in. Okay. Reattach the oscillations thing. Do not over tighten that or it'll crack like it just did. Now if the shaft is tight at this point, it may be. This one's pretty free. But if it were tight, what you do is you take a screwdriver and just whack it a couple times, move it in and out, up and down, and that frees it right up. Now, I think we have an issue here, because here on the front, when I pull it to the front, we get a grinding sound, but on the back it's smooth. So we may have an issue here. Just for curiosity, let's put the blade on right now and see what it sounds like. I think I want to redo the washer on the front, so sounds quiet to me. Beautiful and silent. Alright, let's replace the washer on the front too. Wish I had realized that before I reassembled, but no big deal. Look at these bearings close now, they're happy now. Only take a minute to fix it right. Let's replace the thrust washer on the front too. Okay. Not good. The screw just went flying. Just take the whole time in the video here just to find the screw. Ah, jeez. Would have been done already if that didn't happen. Why are these screws sticking in here? Okay, so let's grab another one of those washers. I think we had used these. Yep, that's the right size. And of course, I have to take this thing back out again. And I just need to slip the, I'm going to have to take the oscillation box off. This thing's getting all flaky here. Thought I had fixed that, but I guess not. I'm going to have to fix that again. Jeez, everything gonna break today? The old washer is in here. I'll just put this one on the front of it. Quiet. That should fix it. I'll put the screws in, then we'll check it before I reassemble this time. This thing is the next on the bench tonight. That's got to get fixed. Okay. Oh, too tight. Ain't gonna work. It's too thick. Okay, this is getting complicated now. I knew it was going to be close. And it is. What I can try doing is taking out those two old washers. They're so thin, I don't know if they'll make a difference. They may. So we'll open this up here and I'll just remove, oh jeez, make sure the windings stay with the back of the thing here and don't get screwed up. What I'll do here, I have to take this on put it on the side. What I'm going to do is I will remove the old thrust washer, which is now like welded to the other piece for some reason. Take this off, and I'll take this off. And this should give us enough distance to work with, I think. And that seems pretty good. It's not, it's got a good amount of play, and I don't hear any scraping either at the front or at the back. So I think that'll work. So let's go ahead and reassemble and hope for the best here. Take two. It just snapped together a little bit further. Let's see if we're going to have an issue now. I think we're going to. Nope, we're still in the clear. I'm going to finish reassembling it while it's plugged in, just to stir things up. Oh no, it's so dangerous. You can't mess with the equipment while it's plugged in. Okay. Zzz, oh no! I tell you, stupid knows no bounds. Not one single boundary does a stupid know. That's right, I put the motor screws in while it's plugged in, and the power bar is on. I think we're looking pretty good now. Sounds pretty good. I don't hear any scraping really. No, we're good. Okay. Let's finish assembling it with it plugged in. This is going to be a little flaky to tighten up because it tends to spin. So sometimes you just can't get it all the way. It is what it is. If you jam it too far then you can't get it off again. That's even more frustrating. So it's better to live with that just to being a little bit loose. Watch, this is super dangerous. Look at this. Oh no, I'm gonna cut my finger off. Alright, let's see how this is running now. Sounds pretty quiet to me. I don't hear that rattling that we was hearing before. Sounds quiet. Sounds quiet at all angles. Is the blade loose? Yeah, the blade is loose. What the heck? That's a very important sound to be able to identify as a loose blade. Very important to be able to identify that sound. That can cause all sorts of problems. Oh yeah, that's good and quiet now. That's making no rattling noises at all. Nice. Bearings are running free. Plenty of oil in there now. This fan is ready to go.